I'm the world champion, baby. By default, but I'll take it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek video. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, and today I am excited to talk to you about the Nova Open that I just went to this last weekend, and I had an absolute blast. And what I want to focus on is, generally I had a great time. They put on a wonderful show. They had everything locked in. This is the third year that they've been at the Washington Hilton, so it really felt like they finally were like getting their groove together and like understanding like everything that needed to happen, and everything just kind of went smoothly. And to me, it was one of the best Novas I've ever been to. I had a wonderful time. I got to see a ton of awesome people that I absolutely 100% loved, and it was amazing. It really was an amazing time, and I thoroughly enjoyed my entire time there, from getting to see the Army Painter events people to friends from like across the country, from Tabletop Titans to across the ocean even. Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics was there. Rachel Paints, Darcy Bono. There's a ton of people that I know I'm going to be forgetting, like most of them, but I'm going to be trying to, as many pictures as I had, they're probably going up right now as we're talking about this. But I had a great time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Had a ton of fun. But what I really want to talk about today is my experience in the Trench Crusade Narrative Event that they had. It was the very first Trench Crusade Narrative Event that they've ever held, and they were super excited for it, and they put on an amazing event. It was so much fun. And I know that this right here that I'm using as my mic holder is a bit of a spoiler alert, but I did really well. And the reason I had fun, honestly, had nothing to do with that. I had no idea that I was doing as well. I knew I was doing well, but I didn't know I was doing that well, that I was, top of the heap for this. But I had a fantastic time with 6 battles over 2 days against 6 amazing opponents. And the event itself was put on to perfection, if I'm being honest. I don't know what I could have asked for any more than what they did. Right off the bat, they gave everyone that was there kind of like a personal swag bag thing. We got a patch for the faction that we were playing, as well as a sticker for the faction we were playing, and a bunch of dice. So we got a bunch of faction specific dice. We also got blood marker dice, and we got blessing token dice. And honestly, that's a big gift to give in the beginning there, they're all custom dice. They look amazing, and they were just a ton of fun. It was just awesome way to start off the event there. And I think a bunch of them came out of like Zach, who is like one of the main like street crew people that are doing this and pushing this, and he's doing an amazing job. I think a lot of these dice came from his personal stash, which is amazing. So thank you, Zach, for that. And also just like keeping the players and everyone involved, the community, just like forefront in your mind, because it would be easy enough to just kind of like keep these for yourself, or just even sell them on eBay or something like that. But instead, you gave it out to the community, and that is an excellent just like indicator of what this all was. It was a massive event of just wonderful community building. Everyone there was just excited to see what war bands they were bringing, their ideas that they were bringing, their strategies, the way they've worked out what they wanted their starting war band, and how they were building it up over the course of the campaign. This was the first time I've done the campaign of the game, and I am hooked. I had an amazing time. Like usually when I do campaigns, like I have a hard time kind of keeping going with them, because it feels like things just kind of fall off, or they can go one of two ways. One, like you do really well and you get really lucky, and suddenly now you're just like unbeatable, and that's, to me, is not necessarily like the fun of being able to do that. The other side of it is that things go poorly for you. The dice roll poorly, things don't happen well, and suddenly you're left with like 3 guys, all of them with like one arm missing and like kidney stones or something like that. And it's like, okay, I get that that's like the that's the fun, like I'm trying to win even though I'm like way behind. It's like, I guess if that's somebody's, I don't want to ick someone's yum, but if that's what you like, then that's what you like. But for me, I would rather go into every single game knowing that it's as fairly balanced as it could possibly be. And the way that the campaigns work in Trench Crusade, which makes it, to me, very convenient, or very works very well for something like this, like a two-day campaign where you're just kind of playing and going along, is that yes, they do have injuries that can happen to your elites. Your elites can die. Your regular dudes can die. All these things, and they can gain experience and get better. But none of the getting better really becomes groundbreaking to me, in my opinion, because the charts that they have for building them up are good. Like, there's things that you can get, like +1 die to your melee, or like, oh, if you get extra dice when you're trying to do this one thing. But you can't stack them. Like, if you get it once, you can't get 3 different versions of +1 to your attack dice. And on top of that, also, you're rolling on it, so you don't get to just choose. There's a random nature to that, so you can't really plan it out ahead of time. You roll twice, once on one table, once on another table, and then you can choose which one you want to go with. So you do have some control, but you don't have total control, which means that you can't min-max plan for this to happen. Also, when things die, yes, they die, and then you have to buy them back onto your warband. But there's a mechanic in there called new recruits, which is that at any point during a campaign, you can just go, listen, this is falling apart. I lost too many good guys. I lost too much here that it's not worth me trying to scrape myself back up. And you just start clean. You start with a brand new list at the limit, with the point, the ducats limit, so the points limit of where you are currently in the campaign. So you're not falling behind. If your warband had bad luck on the dice rolls, you just start fresh. But you don't start fresh from the beginning, so you're not behind. You're just going to be at the same point levels, which means that you're going to be competing against everyone that's going to be well. And yes, obviously you want to push it to do better, because if you're still in there, as Sammy, who is running this event, amazing person, doing an amazing job with an amazing campaign that they did. But the way they described it was that in games like Mordheim, you're playing to try to buffer against the losses, because when you have those losses, they can be devastating to your warband. Whereas in Trench Crusade, it feels like you're pushing for the wins. You're pushing for the benefit, because yes, you can get things like the experience, like the ducats, you can keep expanding, but there's only so much that you can get without it, with those pushing, but you can also only lose so much. And it felt way more balanced and way more fun to do that. And especially in something like this, that you sign up for a 6-game stretch over the course of 2 days, this is going to take up a chunk of your con-going experience. You don't want it to just fall apart on you, where you're well, there's nothing I can do. I can't compete this next, the last 2 games are just going to be pointless for me, because they're not going to be fun, because I'm just going to be falling behind. That's not the case. You could just start over fresh, go with it, and build up from it. And it was so much fun. So, on top of it being fun as just in and of itself with Trench Crusade, Sammy also put together a campaign of 6 missions that were so thematic, so much fun. They were balanced. They meant that across the whole thing, there was no one game way, a strategy method that would automatically win you the game. You had to be able to just kind of approach the missions, go for different things, and they pushed you to have fun, which is and engage with each other, which is, to me, the sign of a good campaign. Honestly, if you can go into this campaign, and the whole point of this, every single one of the missions, is that they want you to engage with each other, they want you to fight with each other, and they want you to have fun playing the game together, while still trying to do well, because that's always what you want to do at these things. It to me was honestly the perfect game set that they had, that Sammy put together. She was amazing, and I had so much fun with it. None of the rules that she put into these missions were breaking. None of them kind of favored one warband over another. They all had this mix that really made it so much fun. For one mission where you wanted to. There was one mission where you got victory points for taking out elites, that's a designation of a certain kind of unit in the game. If you take out elites, you got victory points. So now if you had a warband that had a lot of little Gribblies that were doing, one thing for you, but they weren't going to go up there and start munching on people, now you got some benefit from having that smaller selection of the elites. Whereas if you have all those elites, they're doing really good things for you. So that kind of balance meant that, like, throughout the campaign, it really felt like it was anybody's game. I didn't go into a single one of these missions thinking, oh, well, you've got this. I didn't go into a single one of these missions thinking that you didn't have a chance. Like, every single one, I went into it feeling like this is going to be fun. Let's see what we can do and let's give it a shot. And I know I have a lot of experience with wargaming, but I don't have a super in-depth experience with Trench Crusade. And the fact that I could do well like this with my limited experience with Trench Crusade meant that Sammy put together a mission pack, basically, that was not just beginner friendly, but like everyone there was having fun with it. Every single person. I don't think there was a single person that didn't enjoy themselves and that wasn't applauding everything that they had done. There was beautiful armies. There was, and the thing is, what was great about it is that, like, there was no paint requirement, but there was a hobby award that people would compete for the painting. So it meant that anybody could approach this at any level that you wanted to, but there was something to strive for bringing in, an encouragement to bring fully painted warbands. But it was just so much fun to go in there and just see the breadth of armies. Like, there were armies from all the different factions, and there were armies that were printed with with their official, like, models that they had brought to that they'd put out there for the game. There was also a fair number of models that were put out that people had that they just kit bashed. Like, my entire warband was just kit bashed models. Like, I didn't use a single one of, like, the official models there. And then there were people who used a mix that had some kit bash, had some of the official ones. There was also people that had, like, proxy models that they had used that were designed to be Trench Crusade. And it's not just, like, okay in the game system, it's also, like, encouraged that they want you to be able to kit bash. They want you to push and try and be creative and have fun with the hobby aspect of this game. So from day one, everyone got there. Everyone's in a good mood. Everyone's excited to do the very first narrative campaign. And on top of that, everyone there is just looking to have a good time. And we're ready to go in there, and then they give us, like, the swag, which is incredible, because now we have these dice that we can use for the campaign, and everyone's got them, so you know that, like, you don't have to worry about if you brought your dice or not. If you brought markers or anything like that, they're there. Like, you could just use them, which is great. And they just encouraged everyone to just kind of go out there and play. They had everyone just kind of, like, pair off again on the tables. And then what they had was everyone moved to the left. So you kind of, like, parted the ways with the person that you played with, go to the next table. And that's how you just kept going along that way across the entire weekend, which was fun because it meant that you got to play again on all the different tables that were all made and thematic and beautiful and fun. You also got to, that's how they kind of, like, paired off. Like, the whole idea of this campaign was not to be like a sweaty, try hard kind of campaign. It was designed to be fun, to feed into the narrative and just kind of absorb yourself into just the fun of playing the game and, like, the story that's being told here. And it was wonderful. It really was wonderful. I had a great time. Every single one of my opponents was great. Every one of the people that were putting it on, all the people that were there that were doing demos of Trench Crusade that were willing to come and answer questions. Zach and Sammy running the thing. Just everything was great. And then Thomas, who's the man himself who designed the game. He was there at the end giving out the prizes. So it's like if you went to a Warhammer 40K and James Workshop himself was there handing out these prizes. Like, that's what he was. He was there. He's the man. He's the Trench Crusade man. And he was there handing out prizes and just encouraging people and seeing what everyone was doing and just being an awesome person. So Honestly, I could not have asked for a better event to go to. I could not have asked for a better introduction into playing playing Trench Crusade in an organized fashion like this. I could not have asked for a better set of missions. I could not have asked for better opponents. I could not have asked for better tables. Everything about it was amazing. And from start to finish, I loved it. And I cannot encourage you enough to do it yourself. Both playing the game of Trench Crusade, which was a lot of fun, but also going to an event, going to something like this where you can really just have fun, spending the weekend rolling dice with everyone that you could want to under the sun, and just enjoy yourself being a nerd and reminding yourself why we do this hobby. Speaking of, let's hear from our sponsor for this video, which is the LVO. So at this point, you've heard me wax poetic about the LVO, and I'm going to continue to do so because I absolutely love this event. I've been going since 2018. I've gotten to meet so many of the fellow creators that I enjoy, so many people of my fans that have come to see me, that have gone to the tournaments, that we've gotten to hang out and say hi at least. I've gotten to go and do things. I've been on the GW stream at there that got me into like the different programs. It holds a very strong place in my heart. It was the first GT that I went to. It was the first friendly that I've ever played in. I have absolutely loved going to LVO every single year that I could to just have fun out there. I got to meet up with friends from Alaska. I got to meet new people. All of it is wonderful, and I will continue to love everything that they do there. This year, they are moving venues to the Expo, which is another location in Las Vegas there. And the whole idea that they're trying with this is that they want to get more space so that they can expand and have more offerings. So they want to have more opportunities for different game systems like Marvel Crisis Protocol. They want to have, bolt action. They want to have all these different game systems that you can go there and try and have fun with. But they also want to have more space for things like a hobby lounge. They want to have more painting class offerings. They want to turn this from just a tournament into an entire, they want to turn it into an actual convention that you can go to and have fun and appreciate on whatever level you want to in this hobby. And to me, that's amazing. I'm excited for all of those changes. One of the things that they're trying to do now is they're going to be doing something called the Live Lounge, which is where Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics will be interviewing and having discussions with other fellow creators, people who make stuff, create content online that you know about and love, talking about different aspects of the hobby, different things that you could focus on and have fun with. And I am going to be one of those guests. So if you come on the Friday, I will be at the Live Lounge being interviewed by Stephen Box, talking about what it is that the mindset and how you can get into coming to tournaments as like a way for people to like get an intro into this kind of world, because can be overwhelming. It can be both overwhelming. It can be a lot to try to get to. And also it's hard to really see what it is without having gone to one of them. And the idea, I think, behind this discussion that we're going to be having, this talk is going to be trying to put it out there so that you can get an idea of what it's like to go to a tournament and what to expect and what you can see, because there's a misconception out there that everyone who goes to a tournament is some kind of sweaty tryhard. They're out there. I've been to a gajillion tournaments in my time that I've been doing this in the last 10 plus years of playing like more steadily on war games. And I can probably count on one hand how many times I've run into people that were not fun to play against, and that's like probably, like I said, like less than 5 in hundreds of people that I've played against in tournaments. So that stereotype that is out there, the things that become news and like across the spheres of the internet, they're not really something that's truly to be feared. And I think that this kind of discussion is going to be great for us to be able to talk and see what's going on. So I love that Frontline Gaming is doing this and trying to make it so that this becomes an experience, a way for you to kind of like enjoy the hobby the way you want to and what's going to to be enjoyable for you. So if you go, there's a link below where you can go and get yourself tickets and join me out in the desert in October. And you can do any of the tournaments. You can come for the classes. You can come for just the experience of the whole convention. And either which way, I hope to see you down there. And again, like I said, go check out that link below. You can also take that link to go and check out whatever all the things that they have for sale on their web store, because they usually have the like GW offerings at like 15% off. So go give it a shot. But yes, I hope to see you guys in October and join me out there in the desert and have some fun rolling some dice. So at the end of the day, when all the dice had finally been rolled and everyone was finished, their war bands, the rosters were finally filled out, and everything was done, this campaign was over. And at the end of it, I did win. I garnered the most victory points in there. And I did have a worry and concern when I first did it. I was like, oh, great, I was that tryhard who got the most victory points in a narrative campaign, having fun. Like, did I accidentally make a war band that was just like, that was overpowered or something like that? And did I make it so that everyone else didn't have fun who played against me? But I was assured that I actually also I was like towards the top of favorite opponent and hobby and all of the different aspects of the narrative there. So I basically just kind of came in and had a ton of fun and made sure that my opponents had a ton of fun, which is the whole point of it. So yes, I did well. I got the most victory points, and I like to. I was so I went there and I was like, yes, I'm the narrative champion. At Nova here, and my friends on the factory team, when I went back and told them, they're like, well, it sounds to me like you're the world champion. I was like, well, I guess technically there is no other narrative champion because this was the very first one they did. So by default, maybe I'm world champion. They're like, that sounds like a world champion to me. So until they come out, until they have a second narrative event, probably, I think maybe Adepticon was the idea that they're going with there. Until there's another one there, I am the de facto world champion because I'm the only champion. But I had so much fun. I cannot recommend it enough. Go on and just like join the community of Trench Crusade because they're just some wonderful, wonderful people. Like I said, Zach was taking dice out of his own pocket to make sure that people in the community were able to get him. Sammy put in a lot of work and a lot of time to make these narrative campaign that she put together. And she's currently, I think, working on trying to put it out as a zine. But she's always super happy to kind of like talk to you and encourage you and see what it is that you want to do. But get involved because it's just so much fun. And this event made me want to be even more involved with it. Like the Army Painter had a collaboration with them. They had like a paint set that they had put out. But it kind of goes to tell like why they wanted to is because the emphasis for what they're doing is they want people to enjoy a fun game, a thematic game. And I feel like, I know it's ostensibly like a World War I style game, like with a lot of the, like the trappings of World War I. But there's enough of a change. They brought hell itself to Earth. That's enough of a space, like a difference for me, that it doesn't feel historical. It feels like very much like a fantasy kind of game, even though it's got the stylings and trappings of a World War I kind of aesthetic. And to me, that makes it easy enough for me to have fun doing what I'm doing. So let me know down below what your experience has been with Trench Crusade. Let me know what your experience has been with narrative campaigns. Let me know what your experience has been going to conventions and doing these kind of things. I love to hear what you have to say. I have had a blast. I've done narrative campaigns for 40K. I've done narrative campaigns now for Trench Crusade. And I enjoy it so much because people kind of come into it with an understanding that you're trying to have fun. You're still trying to win because anytime that you play a game, you should always be trying to win. But I think that what happens is you have a mindset shift that you are not like, this is what I won. I won this, and I think like a die set or something like that. And it was there were 5 other people for 5 other awards that were winning there that also won the exact same thing that I did. And so me trying to gun there's no incentive to just be a tryhard in these kind of things, and that's kind of what I love about it. Everyone's going to go into every single mission and try to win. No one's going to throw it. Everyone's going to try to win. But also everyone's there to have fun. Throw some dice, enjoy our little I guess, history dollies, but sort of quasi-history dollies, and just have fun with the hobby, with the game. And that's kind of why I love narrative-driven events. And that's kind of why I wanted to sign up for this. And that's why I've tried things like the 40K Friendly at LVO, like the Grand Narrative that GW puts on, like this narrative for Trench Crusade. Trying out the different kind of formats at these events, to me, is so much fun. I'm going to be going back at LVO to the GT and trying my hardest to try to do as well as I can. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have a lot of fun. You're playing, you're going to be playing your games and enjoying yourself. But it's always fun to try to push yourself and try different things and kind of see where the heart brings you. I'm also in October, kind of in preparation for the World Championships. I'm going to be going to Texas in the Dallas area. There's a narrative that's being put on by Rachel. If you've been to any events, she's the one that kind of dresses up as the Sister of Battle. They're going to be putting on the first one of their inaugural narrative event that they're going to be having there down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Euless, I believe it is. And I'm going to be there having a ton of fun with my Space Wolves, trying to just get some experience, playing whatever list at that point that I'm building. And I'm just the point is I want to go and have fun and roll dice with some awesome people and enjoy myself. And that's kind of what I want you to be doing. So if you decide that you want to be doing this, there's a lot that kind of goes into it, because the expectation in a lot of these things is that you have a painted army. And I'm a member of the Army Painters Factory team, and I would not be part of that factory team if it wasn't for you. The people who watch, comment, and subscribe and do everything with my channel, and have been doing my channel for 10 years now, which is mind-blowing. But I wouldn't be a part of it if it wasn't for you, and I know that. And when I signed up with them, I made sure to negotiate into my contract a discount code for you guys. So if you go to the Army Painter or click on the link in my description below, you will see you will get 5% off if you use the code FactoryGeek5. And if you use the link down below, make sure you put in this code here, because that's important that it goes in for getting your 5% off there. It'll get you 5% off of anything that you purchase there. So if you're starting a new force to go to the narrative, or if you're trying to continue or push yourself with things like maybe the story that's going along with your force here is that they got more trophies and you got to put them on there. You can get a lot of anything there on the website. You can go get them. There's the John Blanche sets are now available in individuals or as a whole. You've got the historicals, if that's the kind of direction you're going with it. They're also available individually there too. And you can go, and anything you get there, get 5% off. And I wanted to make sure there's a way for me to give back. They did turn it into an affiliate code, just to let you know, but there's no additional cost to you. It does give a kickback to me, so it's a way to support the channel without having to spend any extra money. And if you are a member of my Patreon, first of all, thank you so much, because what you do is super appreciated in a way to help keep this channel going. And as a way to extra thank you to you for all the support, the direct support that you give to my channel, there's a 10% code behind the paywall there that the Army Painter wanted me to keep beyond the paywall. Again, as extra thank you for the direct support that my patrons do. I appreciate everything. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. And until next time, stay safe and have fun in a narrative format. Yeah, we'll go with that.